Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. We have a very special guest for you today. She's an industry thought leader, a capital markets expert. She specializes in innovative product and pricing solutions. Please help me welcome back to the show, Eloise Schmitz, CEO and co-founder of LoanNEX. Eloise, it's great to have you back.
It's great to be here, Michael. It's an exciting 2026. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, it is an exciting 2026. We couldn't be more thankful to have you. You have some of the most listened to episodes in the 8-year history of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. So we always appreciate your insights. So let's start off. You say it's exciting 2026. Give me kind of a state of the market as you see, especially from a product and pricing perspective.
Well, I have to, give a little bit of insight into where we ended 2025 to give some insight into 2026. But last year we had over 11,000 active users throughout the year, and those were from over 400 mortgage origination companies. That's some broad distribution. Absolutely. And the year before we were at about 300 companies. So that's a good 30% increase in activity in this part of the market. That's phenomenal. That's not just on us. That's the demand of the market. So really, really excited about that. We also see, we're continuing to stretch our services to be more supportive of what the needs are for investors, for originators. And as a result, we saw the lock volume on the LoanNEX platform go up over 80% year over year. So these were some exciting trends. From a market perspective, total agency originations were at about 160 billion. Sorry, non-agency originations.
Okay.
We're at about 160 billion. That was double the 2024 level. And non-QM was about 60 billion of that. So these are some pretty significant growth numbers. Second lien volume continues to go up. Investment properties are about 40% of total activity. And as we're looking at 2026, we're seeing some rate. The rates are pretty stable, but they're moving around. But what's interesting is in 2023 there was a 23-year high of interest rates. And now we're hovering around 6%. And that's sort of a psychological barrier for folks. And that 6%, now that we're sort of bouncing right around it, it's opening up refis and purchases. So this is an exciting time for the market. Not that rates are, going to drop back down to 2%, but they're stable and they're getting sort of inside that barrier of making people, transact. So I think people should, get their running shoes on and get ready to capture all the demand.
Such great insights, and you have such a good pulse of the market. So I greatly appreciate you sharing that with our audience. Talk to me about the importance of execution certainty and its impact on lenders. If there's going to be more loans, if they're doing more of these non-agencies, talk to me about that.
So we've been talking to a lot of our retail clients, and that is a big topic for them. It's a big topic for them to balance a couple of things. One is, are we giving them the best execution in the agency space? Some of those products, as you get into the high bow side, or as you get into some of the agency products, there may be a better price in the non-agency market. So you want to be able to see all the options, but then, as you said, you need certainty of execution. And so what LoanNEX is really designed to do, and what we're very proud of, is how do we give you all the information you need to have a transparent view of what's required to deliver that loan? What are all the guideline requirements? And so we try to make that as easy and straightforward for people to understand. And that is critical. That is critical. And that's what we hear so many of our clients say is, my agency pricing engine is great for agency. They've got an enormous amount of tools and things that we need, but they really can't give us the eligibility on the non-agency. So That's a lot of our conversation and how we're trying to solve those workflows, streamline it, make it simple, get in their, technology platforms so they have certainty of execution and a streamlined approach to it.
Well, and you talk about how important it is that integration into platforms, and you have some really big integrations. Talk to me about where you guys are going with some of the integrations and some of the companies that you're working with, so that if, you're, like you always say, if you can't see it, you can't sell it. How are you making much greater visibility with these platforms?
So LoanNEX's go-to-market was to first start working with a lot of investors and lenders, all the buy side of the market. And in doing so, we've been working with them on what their lock needs are, what their exception needs are, how do we streamline that, and how do we get those in their LOS and LAS platforms. And really the focus of, the last half of 2025 and into 2026 is how do we extend a lot of that same functionality all the way down to the retail loan officer. So we're very excited about our Encompass integration. We certainly have a full integration for full enterprise services. It's an EPC-oriented integration, and it's in TPO Connect and in Encompass. We are launching the Meridian Link integration now. We're fully integrated in LaraMac, and we're talking with other integration partners as well. But it's really about making sure that the people that are engaging in these products have a very streamlined and efficient integration.
Well, and two wonderful partners in ICE. They've got their ICE experience coming up in March. You've got Meridian Link. They have their conference coming up. And I love that you're extending the expertise that you guys have so that the loan officers have more options to deliver to their borrowers.
Absolutely. And they're both great partners. We've been a partner with ICE for a long time. They are certainly very well distributed across the market. So it's one that we value that partnership quite extensively.
Eloise, tell me what's next. What's next for LoanNEX? Where do you see some of the things going in the market? I'd love to have you share your insights.
Well, I did want to share one trend that we're seeing that I think is new, but I don't think it's going to be unique to just these trends. But we were seeing a lot of doctor programs come up, a lot of new, unique programs that a lot of the non-agency investors are hosting because people are looking for a way to have an edge, to have a difference. These used to be in portfolio products, but a lot of the banks aren't holding these on their balance sheet anymore. So now they're really getting extended, which is a great thing to see by private capital. And that's coming in through these programs. But one of the other new trends we're seeing is people accepting cannabis income as income source now that it's legalized. And that's, these are hard things to put into a pricing engine. How do you differentiate on these things? So it's a constant, I find an intriguing challenge of how do we keep up with trends that are going on in eligibility, in programs. How do we support those? Because we need to support them for both the loan officers and for the investors. And so anyway, just a side note, but those are things that we always see and we're watching and trying to stay on top of. As it relates to, sort of LoanNEX roadmap items, we've got some super exciting things coming up. We released earlier this year our exception workflow. And if anybody is interested in seeing our exception workflow, it is an incredibly revolutionary, unique ability to have in-system ask for an exception and for the other side to provide a line item exception so that then the whole lock workflow continues even though the loan was initially out of bounds. We basically adjust the boundaries for that loan and then it can continue through its lock process. So really novel and again, very appropriate since about 30% of the volume in the non-agency market is for exceptions.
Well, I love that you have the pulse of the market and then you're looking at where can we bring innovation to serve those needs. You're not just creating technology for technology's sake. You always do a wonderful job with that. Eloise, if people want to find out more, if they want to get a demo, if they want to see this in action, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Well, the really easy way is just contact us at sales@loannex.com, or just go to our website and just push the button to either request a demo or request information. We really are. I feel like I've only scratched the surface on some of the exciting things that are going on in the industry and with us. But please reach out. This is a market is growing really quickly. The participants are growing really quickly. And you really need to have all these products at your fingertip in your workflows in order to be competitive with borrowers, with hiring, with retention, all of that. So we're happy to work with you no matter what your technology stack is. We're very happy to work with you.
Well, and we didn't even mention, I believe you're going to be speaking at MCT's event.
Yes. Thank you for that. I am speaking at MCT. They're hosting a non-agency panel, which is going to be great. So happy to talk about more things there. And this is the kickoff to the conference season. So we'll be seeing everybody all around the country, and looking forward to it.
I love it. I look forward to seeing you at those conferences, Eloise, and I can't thank you enough for being a guest on this episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing everybody.